So hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone for way too long and I have just been trying to figure out what other content to produce or to put out for you. Lately I haven't really been feeling like making music. Usually with music in the morning I get the song in my spirit and I'm ready to go, but lately I haven't gotten that. But this morning I woke up with this in my spirit and I really wanted to share that with you guys. So without further ado, let us get straight into the video. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, this morning I woke up with this in my spirit that I needed to talk about, and I believe that it was the Holy Spirit telling me to talk about this because we're in a period of quarantine where a lot of people are going through a sort of like a desperation or a cry or a plea for another partner or a companion, and it would really suck if you ended up with someone who is not good for you, especially during this time. You don't want to go through an extra stress or an extra worry you have to go through during this whole period. So I'm gonna talk about this topic. Are you ready? Because I think I'm ready, okay? Okay, so this topic is 5 reasons why he is not the one for you. You ready for this? Okay. Number 1, he does not make you a priority, but he makes you a choice. 2, second choice. If a man really loves you, he makes you a priority. He doesn't have to give you excuses as to why he cannot see you. He doesn't give you excuses as to why he can't call you his woman, or he doesn't make excuses as to why he can't introduce you to his family. He makes you a priority. I remember when I was dating my husband, or my husband at that time, my boyfriend, I guess at that time. He visited me. He lived in California and I lived in Ohio, and he visited me every month. Did he not have a life? Did he not have a job? Do you think he had like $600 to $800 just laying around that he could have used for something else? Yes, he could have had all those. He did have all those things, life, busyness and all that going on, but he decided to come visit me because he wanted me to get to know him, and he wanted to get to know me, and he wanted me to get to know his family, as well as he wanted to get to know my family. So after him visiting me so many times, I decided that, hey, why not switch it up and come visit him? So like I mentioned earlier, if a man really cares about you, he will make you a priority. I remember before I met my husband, there was a guy that was interested in me, right? And he would call me like every day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening. So I was thinking like, okay, he calls me every day. He must really be interested. But guess what? He never came to see me for over a year. He always said, I'm in school, I'm working, I'm really busy. I don't know, just be patient with me. There are some instances, let's say if the person is out of the country, but he didn't really make any sort of moves or like any sort of progression or anything to actually come to see me, because he had a whole nother life in the different state that he was. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you do not want to be with a guy, or you do not want to waste your time on a guy who makes you a second choice and not a priority. Okay. 2, he does not challenge you. If you are with someone who doesn't challenge you to be better, he doesn't challenge you spiritually, mentally, even in your maturity level, if he's not challenging you and pushing you,
he is not the one for you.
The right man or your life partner challenges you. When God put you two together, it was just not for you to just sit there and just sleep on your blessing or your talents or your gifts. It's so that both of you can sharpen each other and be the best version of yourselves. So for example, if I want to go to school, or let's say I want to go to like a higher institution or anything of that sort. And I asked my significant other, hey babe, so I'm thinking about going to school. What do you think?
He's like, I don't know.
Whatever you want. I don't know. Whatever you want. Is this the kind of person you want to get married to? He's going to be the leader of the family, and every time you come to him for a question, he says, I don't know. I don't know. Do whatever you want. So what is your purpose in my life if you do not know, or you can't help me, or you can't guide me to being the better version of myself? One thing I loved about my husband, and also one thing that I was so annoyed about my husband, was he would always challenge me. I remember when I was in my undergrad and I was working a job that was so not related to my profession. It was so not related to where I wanted to go to. And he would call me and say, is this what you want? Is this where you can see yourself in 5 years? Is this what you really want to do for the rest of your life? And those were hard questions, because it caused me to really think about my life. And not a lot of people like to think deeply about their lives, because then it's like, oh snap, time is running out. I need to do something. I need to, start making some like big woman moves, big girl moves. So those were the kind of questions, and it caused me to quit that job and get another job that sort of redirected me to where I wanted to go. And another thing was, in my undergrad, I didn't know what path to take. My husband at that time, my boyfriend at that time, who is my husband right now, was like, okay, what do you want to do? Are you trying to go to law school, or you're trying to do your MBA? Come on, figure it out. I got you. I'm here for you. And he would give me all these information about law school, and he would give me information about MBA program, and he would say, you know what? Choose which one you think would be the best for you. But if I personally think this would be the best option for you, but these are the costs of everything. This is the cost. This is the pros, the cons, and these are the schools you can go to. These are, he really helped me. He would bombard me with information. I would wake up in the morning and there's like a list of all these things to help me with making my decision. And that made me finally get my MBA, and I graduated with my MBA degree, all thanks to my husband. So like I mentioned earlier, you do not want to marry a man who is lazy in sort of thinking. You don't want to marry a man who cannot think, who's lazy in thinking. He always says, I don't know. And I remember meeting someone like that, and that really made me grit my teeth, because it's like, I'm asking you because I want you to help guide me to make that decision. I might sort of have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm looking to you as sort of like a leader, a guide, or a companion, or a supporter. I don't want you to say, I don't know. I want you to give me some options. And even if you can't help me with that decision, help guide me so I can make the right decision. So, as I said, the right person for you, the right man for you, is going to challenge you. Number 3, the right man acts as a covering for you. Okay? What I mean by this is, when you get married, you need somebody who can protect you spiritually, mentally, and everything. Not necessarily physically, but a man who can protect you spiritually and mentally. Okay? So you need someone who listens to your issues and your problems, and advises you and helps you through it, prays with you, and gives you really good spiritual feedback. Okay? Sometimes you're going through certain situations in life and you need someone to talk to. Now, if your significant other cannot provide that for you, you start to go elsewhere for that information, which is not healthy. Okay? When you get married, there are important things that you and your spouse should be able to share, and that's what communication comes into place, and that's what actually helps you build your bond. Now, if you cannot talk to your significant other or your eventual husband, Then you start calling your parents, which is very unhealthy, talking about issues that your husband could help you solve. Okay, so you definitely need a man who can be a covering for you if you're going through any type of situation, especially with everything going on. There's so much negativity going on, and people are struggling with mental illness, anxiety, depression, self-esteem issues, and just a lot of crazy things. And this is where you need a man who can say, babe, let's pray about this. Babe, this is it. You know, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, I'm here for you, I got you, let's do this, let's read, let's pray together, all these beautiful things. And one thing I really love about my husband is he will share, so we have an app called the YouVersion Bible app, and there are a lot of thematic Bible studies that you can do with your partner or your friends. And there are times where, let's say, worry, he will send me an invitation to do a study of worry with him, or a study of anxiety, or a study of stress, or being a better steward of your money. All these things are very, very important. So like I said earlier, he acts as a covering for you and make sure that you're protected spiritually, mentally. So you definitely want to marry a man who does that for you, but not a man where you call him and you're crying because you're depressed, and then he says, well, do what you got to do. I mean, I remember back in the day, I was talking to someone, I was in a relationship with someone, and then I was going through a very hard situation. So I called this person and I said, I'm going through this really, really hard situation. I don't know what to do. Guess what he said? Why don't you talk to your God? I felt like the devil spoke through him to bring me even lower to the lowest. You know, I am talking to you because I'm going through a lot, and you tell me talk to my God. Do you not believe in the same God that I believe in? That's why it's very important not to be unequally yoked. If you are dating someone, you need to make sure that they are not unequally yoked with you. So all these reasons are apply to somebody who has the same faith as you. Okay, somebody who is not unequally yoked. And I personally, I don't know if you already know this, but I'm a Christian. So I will definitely not go for someone who is not a Christian, because there's so many other things that comes into place. Because even, let's say, if he's acting as a covering, or if he's giving me advice, is it advice that I can absorb because of our differences in religion? You know, so these are all the things you need to really pay attention to. So it's important to not be unequally yoked with the man that you potentially want to be your husband. Number 4, if you are dating a man who has not introduced you to his family or the most important people in his life, girl, take a breather, take a break, reassess the relationship. Make sure this is what you want to do. This is the time you want to invest in. This is a relationship you want to invest in. Because if somebody loves you, they are in a rush to introduce you to your family because they see a prized possession. So in Luke 15:8, there was a parable of a woman who lost one coin, okay? When she found the coin, she was so happy, and she told all her friends and her neighbors about it because she was so excited, because she found something that she really wanted and she desired and she loved. Like she was proud of what she found, okay? Now, if you find a pearl, okay, if you find a woman who's a pearl, would you want to hide her? I understand if you want to stay away from social media. That I'm not worried about. I did that. I didn't put my whole stuff on social media in the beginning, okay? But wouldn't you want to show your family, like, this is a woman I met, she's awesome, she's great, she's the woman I've been waiting for. You want the whole world to see what you got. When my husband and I were dating in our preliminary stages, he was so eager to meet my dad. He wanted to meet my dad. He wanted to see the people that created me. But when I came over to visit, he introduced me to his whole family in the Bay Area. And I was even overwhelmed because I was like, dang, this guy is serious. Exactly. So when you see a pearl, you don't hide it. So if you're dating a guy and let's say he has kids in the relationship or something of that nature, and he does not introduce you to his kids because he's not sure, or he doesn't introduce you to his mom or his dad, what are you doing with him? He can't even introduce you to the people that are the closest and most important to him, meaning you're not that important. Maybe he doesn't think you're a long-term person, or you're not a permanent person in his life. He's not sure about you. So either you reassess the relationship or you leave and find someone who really values you and sees you as a pearl, a most prized possession. So that's one thing you should know. You shouldn't be in a relationship for a whole year and not know who his mother, father is, haven't spoken to none of his family. Just doesn't make any type of sense. Okay? Doesn't make any type of sense. So girl, if you are in that type of relationship, honey, please call it a quits or reassess the kind of 5. Okay? The man that you're marrying has to have a mentor in his life. Do not be with a man who does not have a mentor or somebody, a figure, a spiritual figure, or a leader, or somebody that he looks up to, somebody that sort of guides him, helps him through his journey of being a man. Okay, one thing about being a man or a woman is that we look up to people that are older, people that are wiser, people that have been through certain situations that can help guide us. I have a few mentors in my life, and my husband has a few mentors in his life. Okay, so it doesn't have to be your mother or your father, but it can be somebody who is very important in your life, and you have to introduce that person to your significant other. Okay, if a man doesn't have a mentor or somebody that sort of holds him accountable, if there's an issue, you need a third party to discuss certain issues with. Okay, you can't talk to your parents, you can't talk to your friends. You need a third party, somebody who's wise, knowledgeable, who can sort of come in the middle of everything and give both of you unbiased advice. Okay, so it's very, very necessary to be with a man who has mentors in his life. If you are dating a man who does not have any type of mentor in his life, honey, beware, because he has no sort of guiding light, or no spiritual figure, or no leader or wise person to sort of feed into him. Okay, everybody needs. Okay, so you need, both of you, like I mentioned earlier, need mentors in your life that shape you to be, for me, a better woman, for him, a better man. So you need to speak with his mentors to see what kind of information they're feeding him. And also you need to make sure that he has good mentors in his life that helps guide him. And also, if there is any type of issue that is going on with both of you, it's good to speak with a third party that helps to diffuse the situation, and that gives unbiased opinion. So he needs wise leaders, wise people in his life to feed into him as you do. So do not be with a man who has no sort of mentors. He's just there. He lives as he wills. Okay, that's not how you live your life. You know, as Christians, we don't just live. You know, that's why we listen to preachers and we listen to motivational speakers. If we could just live our lives the way we want to, we wouldn't need all that, because there's so much going on in life, and it's important to know what he's feeding, what is feeding him, and what is being poured into him. If he's pouring into you, you need to know who is pouring into him. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out, guys. I have talked a lot, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, click the subscribe button. It's the red button at the bottom. And also comments and like. I want to see engagement on the channel. I want to see what you guys like, what you guys want to see more of. If you guys want to see more of my music videos, let me know in the comment below. If you want to see more of my discussions about relationship and marriage, because I do have a lot of that coming soon. And I will be happy to produce more of whatever you guys would love to see. But at the same time too, I want to produce what would make me happy as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. And if you are interested in the shirt that I'm wearing, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I got it on Amazon. I'm gonna put a link at the description box below. It is so beautiful. It says, I am black woman, beautiful, magic, intelligent, resilient, love, innovative, powerful, influential, unapologetic. I think it's a beautiful shirt. So it's not sponsored or anything. I thought it was beautiful. But if you do want a shirt, I'm gonna go ahead and post a link of where to get the shirt if you like it. If not, kudos, it's cool, all good in the hood. So without further ado, thank you for watching. And you know what, be kind, be good, love everyone. You know, everybody is carrying some type of issue that you don't know about, so it's very important that we care and we're kind and we love each other. Okay, so love you all.